AM 1220 KHTS, I'm Key Budge. Last hour we had Deputy Josh Dubin, Detective Bill Velick from the Santa Clarita Valley Sheriff's Station, and we ran into News Director Perry Smith from AM 1220, and Perry said he bolted into the studio, pushed Josh back down, and that's a feat in itself. And Bill couldn't get past and says he's got some questions that he wants to share and find out directly from the mouth of the Santa Clarita Valley Sheriff's Station. Sorry to call you the mouth, Josh, but
no, I think that's fair.
We're in the bonus round now.
This is the bonus round.
Thanks for the invitation, Key, even though I kind of barged in the door, as you said. But yeah, Deputy, you were telling me about some great safety tips that people should know if they're going to be taking pictures on their phone, for example, and some other things that you were kind of sharing with me during the break there. I was wondering if you could let our listeners know, like if someone's selling something on Craigslist, for example, there was something that they should know about taking a picture with their phone.
Well, an interesting case that I saw, come across our desk was when you take a picture, especially on a smartphone, and you have the location service turned on. There's some information that's attached to the photo. And oftentimes if you're selling something, a product, a bicycle, or, a pair of skis, when you take this picture and post it on Craigslist, would-be thieves can access this photo and oftentimes extract information from the photos, leading to a GPS location of where the photo was taken. So it's just something to be aware of. If you do an internet search, a Google search on, GPS coordinates out of a photo taken with your smartphone, you'd be surprised at the amount of information out there. It's just an interesting fact that Perry and I were speaking about during the break. Another thing that we at the Santa Clarita Valley Sheriff's Station are really trying to get out to people, especially during the summertime, is when you park your vehicle, whether it be at the mall or in front of your house or in your driveway or anything like that, don't leave your GPS, your cell phone, your cash, your purse, or anything else valuable inside your vehicle. A major problem that we have in the Santa Clarita Valley is with people leaving expensive valuables in their vehicle, and a would-be thief walks by, and this is a crime of opportunity. Would-be thief walks by, sees your $1,000 Louis Vuitton purse on the passenger seat, breaks the window, the purse is gone within seconds, oftentimes leaving no fingerprints and no trace of who the thief is. If you have to leave something valuable in your car, lock it in your trunk. We would rather have you not leave it in your car, bring it into your house. But if you do need to leave your valuables in your vehicle, make sure you lock it in your trunk and out of view.
I know that I saw during the holiday time, there was a suggestion that if you can find a throw, like a Velcro, or not a Velcro, but the fleece throw blankets, that's similar in color to the interior of your vehicle, at least you have something to cover up. Because, like you said, these guys are looking for people that are vulnerable. Right. And if you can cover things up, gifts or your sports gear or whatever it is that might be attractive, and you've got that throw that's the same color as your interior, that's also something that can be used to, deter your vehicle from being hit.
Right.
Makes sense.
And, a thing that I do personally, and I know many people in the community do it, is take the time to prepare a list of the serial numbers of your valuables, whether it be your home or in your car or anything like that. Those serial numbers help any law enforcement agency in the entire country to recover your property if they were stolen. It's not 100% every time. However, it does help us substantially if you have a good description of the property along with the serial numbers.
I would bet also, using with smartphones, we've got cameras, as Perry's taking photos here as you guys are talking, that you've got the smartphone, it's got a camera. Why not take pictures of your property too, besides the serial number? And if you've got a special identifying mark, I don't know, Bill, as a detective, wouldn't you like to have a photo of the property that was stolen?
It is helpful. I know a lot of times with the drug addicts, that when we try and find property is through the pawn shops. To drug addicts, if they have property that is stolen, traded for narcotics, it often ends up at a pawn shop somewhere. And we can go and find it easily when it shows up, if we can identify it. Unfortunately, many bikes are all the same. The only difference on a bicycle is that serial number. People don't always write down the serial number. One iPad is the same as another, unless you have the numbers that are in it. Once people take out your personal information that you've added to it, a lot of them are the same. they're difficult to trace. Jewelry, the same way. If we don't have a good description, photos are always the best option.
Good tips. Good tips.
Now, as far as other crime prevention tips, I would think besides just depending on you guys in uniform, that us, the public, probably would play a good role in prevention of crime.
Right. Yeah. Partnering with the community, and I guess this goes back to part of the social media aspect. Partnering with the community and the community acting as our eyes and ears is an invaluable tool. When you call, whether it be you call our station number, you send in a tweet, you send in a Facebook message, you use the anonymous Crime Stoppers tip line, these tips are helping us catch criminals. These tips, you see somebody in your neighborhood checking door handles, checking cars, unlock cars, checking, knocking on doors, walking around the side of the house. These tips, calling them in immediately, are leading our deputies to the right place at the right time and helping us solve these crimes. If you've seen a lot in our local media out here, KHTS, for example, we're able to oftentimes catch these criminals by the tips that we're receiving from the public. And I can't stress that enough.
Well, I saw recently you had a deputy-involved shooting here in Santa Clarita.
Correct.
Within minutes, you guys had news that you were putting out, and instantaneous, right at that moment, Perry in our news department is, as we talked earlier, retweeting and sending out that information to the public. Right. And this bad guy got caught based on information that you guys shared.
Right. And that was a really rapidly evolving situation. We have this guy, this deputy involved shooting, and people were in so many words locked out of their house. We had a containment set up. This was an active search for this suspect in this case. And these people needed to know, why can't I get into my house? What's going on? Am I in danger? Is there any danger to my children that are over here? These people needed to know that. So again, we're so lucky in the Santa Clarita Valley to have such a strong partnership with local media. I was able to quickly put out information via our Facebook, our Twitter. Questions started coming in. People are concerned, and legitimately so. And I'm able to answer the questions. Downtown at our Sheriff's Headquarters Bureau, they're putting out information. Perry's putting out information from a local media aspect. And at least people are able to quickly, easily engage us, know what's going on, get accurate information, and ultimately, we released photos of this individual, and we released, the circumstances surrounding it, and a proactive resident called in, and ultimately this person is now in custody.
And Nixl's been a big part of that too, right? People should be signing up for those if they want to follow out what's going on in the... Right.
And one of the great things about the Nixl service that a lot of people don't know is how it works. Is it's a free service. You're going to go to www.nixl.com. You're going to sign up. You're going to put in whether you would like to receive your information via text message or an email. One of the things that Nixl's going to ask you for is your address, or at least the address that's important to you. Because if we have a vicious pit bull running around a neighborhood, or if we have a deputy involved shooting in a specific neighborhood, we have a containment set up to a specific neighborhood, and we're not allowing people to go in and out of the street because of a major public safety concern, we're able to quickly and geographically text and email people just in that neighborhood and let them know what's going on. You living on the other end of town may not be so concerned. You're able to get into your house on the other end of town. But this is vital information for the people that are not able to get into their house at the time. So without spamming everybody and without bugging everybody, we're quickly and with a quality message being able to send these messages out to the people in the affected area immediately.
And as a parent, if, say, I'm at work and this alert goes out and my kids are coming home from school and something's going on in where my residential area is, I can get a hold of my kids right away now. So I've got another avenue of knowing what's going on as it's breaking, so I can make sure my family's safe.
Absolutely. Now let me propose another scenario to you. We have a major earthquake. We have a major brush fire. We have a natural disaster. Oftentimes, when you try and use the telephone after a natural disaster, cell phone especially, it's going to say circuit's busy. It's going to say your call cannot be completed. However, texting works on a different set of circuits. And oftentimes when you send a text, maybe it won't go through for a number of minutes, and then your phone will receive boom, 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 10 text messages. One of the ways that, if you look it up online and through FEMA and different things like that, is texting is going to be a vital source of information during a natural disaster, during a major emergency. And the Nixle service offers a text message option. So maybe your phone isn't working. Maybe you're not able to access your email or the internet during a major earthquake. You will be able to eventually, sooner than the telephone working, be able to receive a text message knowing what's going on and getting you that emergency information.
That's great information. And I know here at the station, we really pride ourselves to try and make sure that we're on top of things that are going on that impact the community.
Right.
And your department is right in the middle of all that.
We try.
Now, I know that, Perry, you and I have talked that you've gone on rides to get a better understanding of the law enforcement community and the impact that's going on,
Right.
to educate yourself with
Right.
law enforcement and working with Josh.
And it just comes from the little things to, like, knowing that, hey, deputy vehicles can only pass on the left, so you need to pull over to the right when they're coming through. Or, just kind of getting an understanding of just how much the volume that they have to handle, and, the response time has to be prioritized, and, you guys deal with things as they come, and you have to take, certain things have to happen before other things can happen. So it gives a great perspective, and I would definitely encourage anyone who can.
That's and as far as if there's members of the public that are listening that would like to maybe do a ride along.
Right, yeah. Our website, www.Santa Clarita, no space, www.santaclarita.lasd.org. On the left-hand side, you're going to see Ride Along. Click on that, fill out the application, you'll be contacted by one of our deputies. It's invaluable. Perry goes on a ride along with me. We stop, we get a slice of pizza in the middle of our shift, we get a call, we're out. Pizza's going down, we're going to the call. And it's just stuff like that, a strong partnership between local media, sheriff's department, and so that we're all kind of on the same page. And in time of need and in times of a disaster, a natural disaster, anything like that, we're all on the same page and we're able to, put out a concise message.
And I think a lot of folks, civilians, don't have the understanding of what goes on in law enforcement and the different rules that apply to us, or maybe the policies and things that we try that come into play. So it's really nice to see, here's a news director from a radio station that's out doing ride-alongs to try and get a better understanding for what our law enforcement community is going on. So you can communicate that to our audience, not only our listening audience, but through our webpage.
Right. I think it definitely adds a depth of coverage when you get that perspective. You kind of have to look at everything from both sides, and I think that's obviously one of the more overlooked sides, is just that, they're doing the job out there, and they're servicing our community, and they're trying to work with us, not just, as another agency out there, another government entity, so to speak,
I think it adds credibility to the news coverage, and I think it also probably adds a little bit more confidence from the law enforcement side, because usually a lot of things that come out aren't positive when it deals with law enforcement. But when you develop a relationship and you can put a face with the name, it's got to be a little bit more comfortable when you're sharing the information and know that person that's receiving it on the news side is going to report it as it should be.
Right.
And that's one of the things I like about the zone leader program is if you're living in a certain area, you have someone specifically that you can contact regarding crime in your area. It's down to by the neighborhood. You can look up stuff online. I mean, the sheriff's department's great about letting people track that information, but also being able to, like you said, put a face to the name, to the someone I can contact when I call 255-1121. I'm going to get somebody. I can find somebody that I can talk to that knows my area, knows my neighborhood, and the issues that are facing it.
Right. And that's something so positive with the Zone Leader program that Captain Becker designed. If you live in the Saugus area, you can pick up the phone. You can call Deputy Manskar and say, hey, I live in this neighborhood. He's familiar with the crime reports happening in your neighborhood. He routinely patrols your neighborhood. He knows the people in your neighborhood. So it's really kind of like a hometown station type of feel, Myself, I'm the Newhall zone leader. If you live in Newhall, you could pick up the phone. Many of the Newhall residents know me on a first name basis. I routinely go to the Old Town Newhall Association meetings once a month. These business owners know me. The residents know me. If they have a problem, it's not going to get lost in the shuffle. They could pick up the phone, they could directly call me, and we can get to the bottom of it. Whether we need to get the J team involved, whether we need to get our special assignment team involved, whether patrol deputies need to be aware of a situation going on in that neighborhood. We have it all locked down like that.
Having you guys in the studio is absolutely great. If you can stick around just a couple more minutes, we're going to be back And I want to just talk to you about some more of those programs. And I know that Neighborhood Watch is a big deal. And if you can share a little bit of information with what goes on, as far as the community involvement, the directing that kind of information back to us. We'll be back with Deputy Josh Dubin, Detective Bill Velick, News Director Perry Smith, right here at AM 1220 KHTS. I'm Key Budge. Stick with us.